Good morning, and Saridat Chamakha. I'm Shauna Larson. I'm Sukhbia on my mom's side from the village of Port Graham, Atna on my dad's side from Chickaloon village. Excited to be here today. This morning, we are so fortunate to have a welcome and a blessing by Francis Cullooyah, who's a tribal elder and the cultural director at Kalispell. And he's here in person. We're very excited to have him. And there's supposed to be a bio here, but I don't see one.
It was very short.
So I'll just say that I had the honor of meeting him this morning, and he was talking to us about how he had already had many years of serving on his tribal council, and that he had served on several committees, which is, I think, like a lot of us that are involved with our tribes, we wear a lot of hats. So I'm excited to have somebody here from this region and this area who's able to talk to us about the history and the land and kind of what that means for us as Indigenous people. So please help me welcome Mr. Francis. Thank you.
It's a blessing and an honor for me to be here this morning to welcome our people from throughout the Northwest areas. And so many times we neglect to give honor to our Tupia, our Creator, that gives us this life and gives us this strength that we have each and every day. It's a blessing to know that many of you, or all of you, I should say, has taken this path of reaching out and helping our fellow man in this earth that we are sharing. There are many things that I can remember as a past leader. I was on tribal council for a number of years. I need to ask you, before I say my prayer this morning, I want to give to you just a short summary of who we are, to ask for your prayers, to ask for your assistance, that if you may give it to us. There are many of us that in our tribes today that kind of lost the way. We have lost the way. We have lost many elders that were very knowledgeable in the ways of our people. And I know that as oral history is passed down to generation, there is a loss of verbiage, a loss of words that we lose. Maybe it's just myself, though. I don't know. But we need to stay strong. We need to keep our lives moving in a fashion that's going to be beneficial to all of our young people that are going to be coming in the years to come. Chukwin Tupia, Chukwin Kudin Sutan, Kmiyat Khosgat Hard, Yakasat Hadacht, Kmiyat Hadlam to Manwech, Hodasia, Kaswitzelt, Chutkai Tupia, Chutkai Kudin Sutan, Kachtan Sutan. Kmiyat no Nech to Quin Tupia, Quin Kudin Sutan. Till yet Khosgat Hard, Kmikas, or Settled, Tutatkas pupuus, tutatkas en kwatpachteen, kaksiajaate, kein kodeman, tu kort skeilig, kosia, hui koon ko, jet kaskat kantlukkas pupuus. Tumeel ko, kakas kot kwailmeel, jukadesia, kakas aat kusiteld. Kom je nu nechte kuin koden zoeten kunsten zoeten. Jes kodem. Jout jaat dus popo oos tussen kotpacht is. Kom je nu nech te het kwa schessi. Koden tuesia. Tu ka edi de michum. Tu kas kodem. Kas sichot kai pepe goed esia. De leert God, je schat hartelijk kuin kunnen zoeten kuin toepje. Je kijkt op jou, je kijkt God uit. Je spannend, zoutelijk en kutenetko. Gas en scheiteld, should gas God emotion. I pray today, Grandfather Creator, for the many blessings that you have given us in the past. Today, we ask for further prayer for our generations of people that are yet to come. We give our heartfelt graciousness, I guess you would say, to the people that are sitting in this room today that have committed themselves to the many workings of all of our people. And may that blessing may continue with us. And may all of these people that are here stay strong in this path of life that have been given to us from our Creator, our Tupia. So we give thanks today for the many elders, for the many people that have already walked this path and have left this path. We have many leaders that have left a legacy for us, and may we be strong in those endeavors. May we continue to be that way for the generations to come, from our children, our grandparents, our mothers, our fathers, our aunts and uncles, everyone that's in our communities that we hope that at some point in time, with the wishes of our Creator, may we reach those points of life that has been pointed out to us, the things that we follow in our hearts that are important to us. As I said, we have many leaders that have passed away, that have gone on to the other side. We ask you to make us strong, to keep us in that fashion, to walk that path, that Native American path that has been given to us by our Tupia. So today, as we go along on this life, I ask our Creator to continue to bless us in only the way that He knows, to keep us awake at all times, to let us rest at all times, and to let us fly with the many people that are making decisions for us in our countries, in our lands. Sometimes we ponder those things and we wonder why there's a precedent that had been said, that had already been set by someone else, and we have to follow that rule and comply with that rule. May we be strong and find a way that helps us all. And I appreciate the fact that many of you leaders that are here today stay strong, stay on that path. May our Creator continue to bless you each and every day. Thank you, my grandfather. As we go along, I just wanted to add that for the many generations of people that have changed our lives, each and every day we have a leader that is being born. Are those leaders that are being born trained and raised to live a life of goodness, a life that you lead from the heart? Those things sometimes are left behind. We take things for granted that the people that are leading us are the ones that are in the know. And from time to time, way back when, 40, 50 years ago, when I was a young man, I had leadership from Northwest Affiliated Tribes to the National Congress of American Indians. I can remember some of the names that were mentioned a while ago when I was out in the hall. The Billy Franks, the Russell Jims. I had a man that I met from Barrow, Alaska, many, many years ago. I got to go visit him once up in his land, up in his country. It was in November. And I promised myself not to go up there again during that time. But it was an awesome visit. I got to go out I went out on I guess it was the ocean or whatever it was up there. And there was these huge clumps of ice that were up in that bay or wherever that was. But anyway, we were walking along and this young man comes up and he was riding a snowmobile. He said, "There's a bear not too far from us." And I was just, and me not being used to that, I'm used to our brown bears, our black bears that are here, that are not really mean, or they're not aggressive sometimes. But I kept thinking of that, and I was looking over my shoulder and walking along there, and that young man come back, and one by one he took us off by snowmobile. And as he took me, I was the second one that he took. We were going along, and we was probably about 4 miles out in that place. And I could swear that I seen that bear. But it wasn't, I guess. It was just my eyes. But that was my close call in Alaska. But I really appreciate the many people that I have met throughout these years. As was mentioned, I was the chairman of the American Indian Cultural Council here at the Museum of Arts and Culture. We began early in the late 80s. We had a few men that came in, and some of the leaders, Robert Sherwood being one of them. Lawrence Arepa from the Coeur d'Alene tribe was here. We had Adeline Fredine, who was a lady that represented the Colville Confederated Tribes. We had many different people that, or Noel, Pete Campbell was one of he was our first director of the museum's collections. During that time, our wishes was to be able to take charge of the collections that are here. If you would look, there's probably about 28,000 pieces of collection that is here in this museum. And only about 3% of that collection has been seen by the public or seen by anyone. We have collections here from Alaska that are here. We started to take charge. Eventually, we was finally able to be the lead people to give back to whoever, to make sure that it goes back to the right person or to the right tribe or right people that it come from. And I have to say that we made many good strides in that happening, and I'm really proud that we have some younger people that have taken over since, and the work is still going. But I wanted to say that the Museum of Arts and Culture here has been very, very appreciative of the local tribal help from the four local tribes, the Colville, the Spokane, the Coeur d'Alene, and the Kalispel, of who I am affiliated. We have the Bonners Ferry Kootenai that are up in northern Idaho that was a part of our group here, and the many meetings that we had and the changes that were made were not quite acceptable to our board of directors who were here with us. But as I got on the board at one time, one of our cultural council people had to be on the board for a number of years, and I got to be on that board for a certain time, and it helped many of us reach our goals and trying to be helpful for our tribal people. I thank you today for the things that you do, for the things that you accomplish. We work each and every day to reach a goal, and many of us that are on the downhill side of our lives, we are thankful each day that when we wake up. And the blessings that we have for one another never changes. It has been that way for generations and generations. That man that I knew, the man that I went up to visit up in Barrow, his name was Percy Ipaluk. I would guess that he'd since gone. He was a bit older than me at the time. But everywhere that I have gone, I've been given that respect of your families. And today I appreciate you being here. I was asked a couple of months ago if I would come over here and do a prayer, and each day I was reminded that I need to be here. And I've got to say that I'm here for just a few minutes today. I have a grandson that's playing in a State B basketball tournament here, And I thought that's where that man was going to be, but he's here. But yeah, we have many things in our lives that we're doing. I have a language program, Kalispel Cullooyah language program, which is our language. We're affiliated with the Flathead tribes of western Montana, and they're called the Lower or Upper Pondere. We're called the Lower Pondere. There's a lot of Kalispel people that are on the Flathead Reserve today, and we continue to interact with one another. I have family members that reach out to me all the time. We help one another with issues of environmental issues, social issues. We've done many different things together. And I just wanted to say that with the blessings of our Creator and our Lord, we as Kalispel people give thanks for the lives that He has given us. We continue to live in a little place about 50 miles north of here. It's called the Kalispel Reservation. It's only 8 miles long, 1 mile wide at the widest. We only have about 405 people enrolled in our tribe. In the last 10 years, we've been busy because about 10 years ago, we only had 260 people. So needless to say, I have to say our electricity goes off too many times. I appreciate sharing that fact. But once again, it's a blessing to be here with you. And I give thanks to each and every one of you. I know I had 15 minutes to be up here, but if there's any questions or anything that you want to learn from me, feel free to ask at this point. So. As I was saying, we had a language program, or we have a language program. We began about 45 years ago, and we always run into roadblocks because we didn't have a curriculum that was developed. I always thought, why do I need a curriculum? Why do I need a person that has a master's degree or has a degree of some sort to teach my children language? Because my grandfather and my grandmothers, my father and my mother never had any kind of education, but yet I'm a fluent speaker of our language. I was one of the fortunate ones that was able to speak. You heard just a little bit about it a while ago as I prayed. But in 2000, we began, I had a young man that I stole from our Camas Institute that was newly developed. And the Camas Institute teaches about social programs, alcohol and drug programs, and they help people with their lives, and it continues today. But I stole that young man from their group and asked him if he would be with me. I have a small office. Anyway, he sat across from me, and each day I'd speak to him. different things, asking him questions. Little did I know he was writing this stuff down in the way that it sounded. In 2001, we were drumming. We were around our drum group. And me and this young man were talking about how we were going to do our next step in our program. It was given to us by a young lady sitting at our drum. She said, "My husband teaches French. My husband teaches Spanish. And I'll have him call you guys. I'll have him get a hold of you." So about a week later, he calls us. And he come and he met with us. And we sat down and he said, "The first thing you need to do is translate and transcribe and record your language," which we started doing. I had two aunties that were alive at that time. And I told them, I said, we'd like to hire you to come and help us write and speak about this language, the words. So they came and they were with us for a couple of years. And in 2001, or I guess almost 2002, we lost 11 of our elders. And that was pretty devastating for our program. And it was just another thing that we had to step up and grab. So anyway, what we did was we got that all done. We transcribed, we translated, and we had like 22 coyote stories. And today we have over 100 coyote stories that have been shared with us by tribal people, by our families. And long story short, that lady that was drumming with us, her husband and his brother came and helped us develop that curriculum. And today, or the last three or 4 years now, we've had 124 students. We teach our language every day. We have an immersion school that we began 6 years ago. We started out with just a kindergarten, then we added first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade. And today we have the ones that began the program that are teaching those that are in that immersion program. And it has worked really well. And I wanted to let you know that at any time, any of you are interested, get a hold of us and we will share our curriculum that was developed. All you have to do is add your language to it. Add your language. That's going to be the work that's going to be needed, is the translating, the pronunciations. We use the phonetic alphabet in our programs. And it's something that helped us out a lot. We've been asked by the All Pueblo Council down in New Mexico for us to come down and help share our curriculum with them. So, and we've shared probably with 24 tribes so far, I think, throughout British Columbia, Alberta, Canada, and Montana. With that, you? Okay. All right.
Hi, my name is Gayla Hossett. You asked about a question. I just wanted to take this opportunity, when somebody asks, to take advantage of the knowledge that you have within you. This morning I had an opportunity to do like a, meditation fire journey within my own self. So that fire that we have all within us with the 4 elements that we have around, with the challenges that we do have and the work that we do you have any advice to those of us here or anybody who's on the teleconference of with that fire within us and to keep going forward? Thank you.
There's so many, you have my contact information, right? If you could share that with anyone that really wants to, that wants to get in touch with me, and share that with them. I have to say that I'm just a little bit boastful of that language program. It's been, for a number of years, we just struggled because we knew how to count, we knew colors, we knew animals, but how do we get that into, and I was going back thinking about my grandparents. How did they teach me? How did they teach me this language? They were very smart people. They had the way of life that I wish we could get back to. But we have our influences in our lives today that can't get along without, except the electricity. But with that, I'm sorry to say that I think that I'm probably at the end of my talk here. I appreciate the fact that I was invited, and I thank Barbara Gagnon for getting in touch with me. And I appreciate, once again, the fact that you people are working to better ourselves in this way of life that we have to accept today. But we have to remember our traditions, our culture is of utmost importance in everyday life. I use it every day. I pray to my Creator every day. When I go to bed, I give thanks for that. And today, I ask the Creator to bless each and every one of you in your endeavors. Lemlem Specia. Thank you all.
Thank you.